All right, tonight is the night. First of several Granite State debates taking place right here. You can see the stages are set. WMUR political director Adam Sexton here, the moderator of all the debates. So tonight, Adam, it's the Republican gubernatorial candidates. So you got Kelly Ayotte, Chuck Morse. For folks just tuning into this race or tuning on the TV last couple of days, obviously a lot of ads. What are, Granite State viewers seeing at home right now?
Yeah, for those voters, Steve, who are just now tuning in, just paying attention, this crucial Labor Day moment happens, and people who like to vote but don't always like to be involved in the politics year-round like the rest of us, they're tuning in now. They're going to be looking at this and saying, okay, what have I seen so far? And for most of them, that is what they've seen on television. The television ads here so far, Chuck Morse, what he's been able to do, he's been trying to attack Kelly Ayotte on an immigration bill from way back in the year 2013. It feels like ancient history in politics, but a lot of times now those compromise things that happen in the U.S. Senate, they can come back to bite you in a partisan primary like this. That's what Chuck Morse has been talking about. Kelly Ayotte has been talking a lot about abortion, trying to assure voters that her new position of supporting the state law is where she's going to stand, having previously been pro-life, Steve.
So Ayotte, Morse probably meeting with their teams right now, going over final strategy. What would each camp consider a win from this debate stage tonight?
For Chuck Morse, it is landing his attacks, getting his punches in, and really trying to convince that Republican primary electorate that he's the guy. So far, the polls have shown that he's trailing badly by as much as 20 or 30 points in some cases. So he's got to really turn things around tonight. On the flip side of that, Kelly Ayotte, as we've seen in her ads, she's really been looking ahead to that to the general election in November. She wants to probably stand up for herself a little bit against Morse a couple of times, but then really try to turn the page, all while keeping the party unified. That's been the problem with these late primaries. You have a party that ends up fractured. She's going to try to probably keep things together as much as possible, at least on a debate stage.
And in terms of style tonight, Adam, what do you think we're going to see from each of these people?
There's an interesting callback we can do here in that we just saw Chuck Morse on the Granite State debate stage 2 years ago running for U.S. Senate. Very unique election there. General Don Bolduc ended up being the nominee. In that debate, we were all wondering, wow, is there going to be a big fight? And they all kind of took it easy on General Bolduc. There weren't a lot of attacks. I think you will see a stylistic change probably from Morse tonight. He's going to look for his moments. Obviously, you don't spend all debate attacking, but he's going to look for his moments to attack Senator Ayotte. And of course, Senator Ayotte, someone who's been in the U.S. Senate, someone who's been an attorney general, she's really going to try and convey that, that style of being senatorial and a leader to the viewers out there tonight. But hey, anything's possible.
Anything is always possible here on the debate stage. And also want to get to WMUR's Ross Ketschke, who has been digging into more on these campaigns. Ross, what are we expecting?
Yeah, Steve, a lot like what Adam was saying. If you look at a lot of the numbers that we have so far in this race, Chuck Morse has a long way to go. That's both polling and donations. He's got a pretty big gap where he trails Senator Ayotte in it, but lots of people just tuning into this race this week. The debate will be the first opportunity for many voters to begin to get a sense of these candidates before they head to the ballot box next week. If you look at some of that most recent polling from the New Hampshire Institute of Politics, Ayotte led with about 35 points, an even bigger margin with a more recent poll from the University of New Hampshire. On fundraising, Morse has taken in about $1.4 million since the start of his campaign. Compare that to Senator Ayotte's $5.5 million. The two Republicans do share some common ground on issues. Both say they support New Hampshire's current law on abortion rights, guaranteeing access up to 6 months. Ayotte says that housing and affordability are her top issues. Meanwhile, Morse has been putting a much bigger focus on border security. That includes New Hampshire's northern border with Canada and stopping the flow of fentanyl into the Granite State. The director of the New Hampshire Institute of Politics says both Morse and Ayotte will be pitting each other's records against each other.
A lot of voters make up their minds in this last week before this Tuesday election. They both have records, they both have been legislators, and both of them really want to show New Hampshire voters what they are going to do for them in the future.
And guys, those voters have a decision to make in not a whole lot of time. The state primary just 1 week from today. Live in Manchester, Ross Ketschke, WMUR News 9.
All right, Ross, thanks. So you heard, Adam, you heard Neil there saying, this is kind of decision time for a lot of voters. So nights like tonight matter.
Yeah, it becomes fashionable sometimes, Steve, for people to be like an analyst to say, well, how much does it really matter in the end? Well, we can tell you debates do matter. Just ask a guy by the name of President Joe Biden. He's no longer the Democratic nominee for president based on debate performance. So things can go really well, things can go really poorly, as we've seen this year.